Yes, thank you very much for inviting me in this talk. And I would like to share everything I know about the LinkedIn and the strategy and the success cases. I'm the kind of only one educator. There are not many LinkedIn educator in South Korea. So 7 years ago, I made a YouTube video about LinkedIn marketing for B2B purpose and uploaded. And a lot of people, especially from the company side, view that. I think it's 50,000 views so far. So since then, I got a lot of contact from the corporations and Kotra. The Kotra is a public service company that provides some international trade education, something like that. So I've been partnered with the Kotra for the last 7 years. So nearly I meet around 1,000 companies a year in the every almost every month's education for LinkedIn marketing and strategy session. It is usually is 6 hours a day. It's a full day training, 3 hours about the kind of strategy session, and the another 3 hours about the practical hands-on, how to update your LinkedIn profile and how you use AI to content generation and how you make your company page and do the operation, etc. So in some, I'm kind of LinkedIn specialist in South Korea and helping the startups. And previously, I've been doing some global sales over the last 15 years. I majored in biology. I work in the genomics company where they provide data for the genome institute or researchers. So I visited the Dubai, Singapore, Cambodia, etc., Asia and Middle East area over the last 15 years. And I'm doing a little bit about coaching, consulting, the lecturing, all that for the university and the company. So that's a little bit about me today. And today's focus will be the LinkedIn strategy, not just some information you get on Google or YouTube. It's going to be very practical, and it's all of the thing is my experience and not from others' experience. So let's get started.
Most definitely. I'm really excited to have you here. This is a topic that I'm deeply interested in, and I advocate a lot. So that's why I connect with the top managers, like the CEOs and country managers of the LinkedIn in this region, because I promote it, honestly, and I'm very happy to do so. That's such a useful tool that everyone has it. But surprisingly, very few people are using, right? So let's start with this, because since we covered, why you're doing this, why do you think that like very few users here in Asia, and like how many percent you think that it's people use this?
Yeah, I have some statistics. In Korea, we have about 5 million users of LinkedIn users. And I think the Japan is similar to South Korea. Especially LinkedIn is very active in Europe and United States, but the Asian market is yet developed. In terms of the presence is not yet here. We don't have a Korea branch, for example, because that is because by the I think the revenue of advertisement is weak. I think for the LinkedIn branch. So that's why the it's not very active on in South Korea. So I'm kind of expecting to have a Korean branch by the LinkedIn. We have several Korean people as a director of LinkedIn in Singapore. They are based in Singapore, and I have a several connection with them. And thanks to LinkedIn, we Erdinc and me are connected, and this happened. Imagine this happened, and this didn't happen if we're not connected or had a conversation on LinkedIn. So the power of LinkedIn is about without visiting each other's country, you can digitally have a trust of a particular person and have a virtual meeting, like online meeting, several meetings. So in my personal case, 2 years ago, I was kind of part of a consulting project to help the one Korean startup called the Persona AI. And I made a deal, 1 million deal using LinkedIn for personal AI. It took 3 months to find the right relevant people. I do a lot of search, and I also contact around 10 to 20 a day, which means at least 100 people on LinkedIn. And finally, I got some percentage, like a 20% of actual meeting, and had a conversation, not just first meeting. First meeting is about listening. And second meeting, generating a second meeting is your ability. But a lot of people, the founders, they fail to have a second meeting because they don't know what kind of a topic they'll like to address. So similarly, for Korean audience, I mean the users, it's not easy because the relationship building digitally is not something common in this a comparably conservative culture in South Korea. So we after before COVID, meeting or doing contracts with a particular company without visiting each other's office and factory doesn't make sense. But after COVID, it happened. Korean people, they recognize, oh, we can do the business without visiting each other's country. So that's a little bit about the digital sales, digital communication, and the LinkedIn is a somebody asked me like, what's the difference between the Facebook and the LinkedIn? And the Facebook is about everyone users like B2C purpose, and the LinkedIn is about business people 100%. So that's the B2B and the B2C. So it's a different. And also LinkedIn has a very detailed profile, so you can see their activity by the post their regular activity, and then you can see their recommendation. So all the elements on LinkedIn is what the purpose is to give a trust to a particular person. So this is a little bit about what I know now, and I'm going to share more soon. Thank you.
Amazing. That's great. So I'm learning a ton of things, honestly. I use LinkedIn prior. I mean, now I have like 12,000 connections, but I've been using it a pretty long time, honestly. Like I'm using it a bit odd, like almost like unconscious level, like just like with my day-to-day part. Actually, didn't have any strategy in the beginning, but over time, especially last 5 years or so, it started to follow a strategy. So I want to get into these strategies and share our secrets, especially, of course, your secrets, and because you're also teaching for it. So could you tell us, especially most of the audience, I believe founders, right? Founders, could you please type in the chat, like say, I'm a founder, like that, with the pro, right? How can founders position their LinkedIn profile to attract investors, partners, customers, or even media attention? So what is the high level strategy there? Yes, right. Do you want me to repeat the question? Or
Yeah. Can you repeat the question? And I'm going to share my screen as well. Yeah.
yeah, so how can founders position their LinkedIn profile, attract investors, partners, and customers, or even media attention? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So we
This
can see
one.
this.
Yeah. Can you see my screen? Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. There are some reasons why a lot of founders or the LinkedIn users they fail to do the LinkedIn over time, because I every month at least I meet 200 university students and also at least 100 company members, including the founders. And I believe maybe only 20%, although I give a 6 hours training, they fail to do the job regularly on LinkedIn. The first one is I think having a purpose is so important. So, I mean, a lot of founders, they in South Korea especially, they try to focus on the Korean market and try to make some traction in South Korea, and then try to prove that they're doing good in South Korea. And then they try to think of the other countries. But LinkedIn is a global platform. That's why they can start very early for their growth. So that's why I recommend Korean founders use it wisely in advance. And three things are important when it comes to position your LinkedIn profile to attract many kind of leads or inbound messages. Honestly, I got a lot of messages, at least 10 messages from the partnership or globally, because my profile is well designed, well kind of curated in terms of keywords, like a startup founders, mentor, and helping startups go global, etc. So the clarity of your LinkedIn profile is quite important. So the instead of you talk you write like CEO at company name, that doesn't, it's not searchable, by the way. So that's why you try to mention some of the keywords, and also sometimes you put the sentences like a building AI driven product to reduce global shipping waste, etc. So I recommend at least the 5 keywords that represent your identity, and not only that clarity of your keyword, you should provide the content, because like 5 years ago, only title worked because of people contact you, but there are so many users now. So that's why it's important you make a post. I mean, you not a post at maybe weekly basis. One of the international organization called the ITC, International Trade Center in Geneva, contact me on April this month, this year. And John is a startup growth manager for an African entrepreneurs, approached me on LinkedIn. And I asked him about how did you found me, and he said your content. You produce consistently about the startup ecosystem in South Korea. Your lecture, a photo on a weekly basis, all that. That's why he got a confidence about looking at my post, and it was searched by his keyword like a startup in Korea. And then we got a partnership now, and I'm working for this international organization as a partner. That happened. So imagine 100 times of this. Imagine 100 times of your potential, your startups. So as a sales advisor, sometimes, a lot of people, they say, oh, going overseas has many regulation. It takes a lot of time, something like that. No, no, no. I say just get one partner, get one MOU, just one. And then they try to do, and maybe 2 months later, they get one. And they after one, they feel like, oh, I can do it like 100 times. So that confidence is quite important. So that's a little bit about idea. I when I teach about sales strategy, GTM strategy for the founders. The second point is credibility. Um, so when you post, it's not about bragging. It's about consistency. It's about authenticity. So honestly, the John from ITC was from Uganda, and he said in the LinkedIn messaging, um, he is working for UN. So I was like, it's scam, maybe fake, something like that, because a UN person contacted me. Oh, that's not something happening in my life before. So I was like looking at his profile to make some kind of clarity about his credentials, something like that. And then I found his activity on a weekly basis with the founders in Africa. So I was confident. I would like to have the first virtual meeting with this guy, and we had a very good meeting. And in the first meeting, my recommendation: don't just go with your kind of faces only. I mean, you need to prepare always the PowerPoint when it comes to the first meeting, and in the PowerPoint, bring 3 things that you can do or you can contribute to the company that you're talking to. Honestly, in the first meeting with the Erdinc and Founder Institute, I showed my presentation about 3 points how I can collaborate with you. So this first impression giving activity in terms of the first meeting arrangement is quite the key in terms of the successful second meeting or further actions. And all the activity you do on LinkedIn, like posting, content creation, and the posting or the commenting, engaging with the key opinion leaders or thought leaders or another founders or accelerators. We have a venture capitalist. There are so many of them, and if you just if you engage with them, maybe 30 minutes a day, you're going to have many chances, not just chances of meeting, but you get some trust from others. So doing 7 years on LinkedIn, I produce a lot of content on a weekly basis, maybe just one content. When I request a meeting, it's more easy because when I contact them, they say like, I've been following your content, so I've been enjoying your content. So thank you for kind of a meeting request. So it's the benefit. I mean, the benefit after years of a content generation. So that's the second point. And consistency, yeah, that's actually the key. So it took 7 years to meet the UN guy, John, and it took 7 years to meet the Erdinc, and it took the 7 years to be here to be a speaker. And lastly, according to the B2B Institute, the report, there is a full report. You can download it later. Founders with a clear value proposition are 27x more likely to appear in the investor searches. They researched 2,000 leaders, the founders, and they found this data. So definitely the content generation, and you become a thought leader. Okay, and that's a little bit about information I want to share in the first question.
By the way, just a brief question. Do you know how to quickly learn that? How old is my LinkedIn channel? LinkedIn profile?
I think there's a registration day that you can find. I don't know where is it, but I know there's a date that you can check.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it, but couldn't find it because I mean I will say like at least 10 years easily, 10 years, but not too, like I've been using like a professionally last 5-6 years so. I'm also curious that what audience is like, how long they have been using it. Okay, my teammate says that there is about profile. Okay, I'm gonna have a look right now. Dear audience, please let us know because I want to see that you're engaging. Like, how old is your LinkedIn channel? I'm really curious. Let's see that the average here. And by looking at the list of the people who is joining here today, I can say that most of the people have the Western name also, honestly, but in Korea it's pretty common the Western name usage. So you can maybe understand that who is from what region you use the most. Anyways, okay, let's go to the next question. So all right, 1 second. So, okay, thank you for sharing that, Brian. Really appreciate it. So could you please advise us like how early a startup founder should start building their personal brand online?
A lot of startups, they focus on the R&D in the early stage, so they are not really think that they are not ready for like the online presence, etc. But that idea comes from the idea that success is something that they should share when they achieve some certain level of success. But the LinkedIn is more about narratives, the stories, that the progress. So when you start a startup, even it's like a 1 month old startup, you can talk about why you start the startup that you do and some of the failures. One of my friend 3 years ago, actually he makes a Korean food, Korean fish food, and export to Africa or Mexico and etc. I recommend him to use the LinkedIn, and he said like, "Wow, should I do that?" Something like that. And especially it was an item. I mean, the item was a fish, so can I sell my fish as well? So I gave a webinar to him, and also he invited several Korean manufacturing companies, and that is one of the video I already uploaded on YouTube as well. So the idea is to share the progress, and when he achieved the certification called the HACCP, which is a fish or food certification in South Korea, HACCP, and he had a hard time, like 2 months to achieve that certification. And he shared the certification achievement story on LinkedIn as a first post, as I recommend him to post. And he got 7 contacts from the potential partners because the people around me or others, I'm on LinkedIn, they recognize, oh, this company exists first. And this company has a high level of certification in South Korea for food processing. And then this message was authentic, and he got a message immediately. So the one of the 7 person was the angel investor, and he got some investment amount. It's a real story. So to build trust earlier, I recommend at least you want to launch your product maybe at least 6 to 12 months in advance, or even you start a business and you say maybe on a monthly basis about your progress. That's the key. Maybe you can talk about the team hiring difficulty. The on LinkedIn is not about success stories. A lot of people cheer up for the failure content. So let's talk about how difficult you are to build a team, to build a product, or pass the certifications, etc. And also the lesson learned, sharing the content about lesson learned. That's powerful. So, for example, we had a LinkedIn session today, and you try to post and tag me and Erdinc, and you put like 5 lessons you learned. That's powerful because I'm gonna like the button, I'm gonna comment, I'm gonna share, and you're gonna have 30,000 connections from me for your post exposure. So that's a smart one. That's a strategy. That could be the strategy as well. So show learning and progress. And engagement, that's the engagement. A lot of people, they don't engage. They complete the profile, they sometimes post, but they never like, or they never comment, or never share. Smart people, they comment, they like, and they share because they know the impression of the content spread is much higher when you comment, when you leave a comment or like the button and the share. So honestly, when I became a kind of a top 20 creators, firstly 3 years ago in South Korea, top 20 LinkedIn creator by Fabicon, one of the research company, some people from other country, honestly, it was I don't have any bias, but there was an Indian guy. He comment on my post, every post, to increase the spread of his presence. So that was a kind of strategy, and I thought he's smart because he got a lot of connection from my connections as well.
Thank you so much for sharing those stories as well. This way, it becomes more everything that you teach us right now become more grounded, or resonating with us. Appreciate it. So okay, and that brings me to the next question, actually. So, what should be what should be the content of the LinkedIn post? Which actually you a little bit mentioned it, right? Personal achievements, personal success, and that sort of thing, or your learnings, right? My most engagement content is actually the one that I share, that some sort of achievement, but we can't have a success every other day, right? So that's why when we do an event, so it's become a successful event. So there is a reason that to share. It gets a good reason. But for normal users, the average user, what should be the post? Like, what kind of post that they should publish? How do you balance this authenticity with the strategies that you share?
I recommend the first posting about your mission, why you started your startup, why you founded your company. Your mission story is always powerful. And I recommend to share your upcoming plans. For example, in 2 weeks I'm visiting Korea. We have a very exciting exhibition, 3 days exhibition in Singapore. Whatever the plans that you share, and using that posting, a lot of people, and also hashtags are important. So put the hashtag in the post as well. For example, last year I gave a mentoring for LinkedIn session about one is a bio startup, and he was visiting like the Bio Europe 2024. Bio Europe is one of the bio conference in Copenhagen, and he said in advance, like 3 weeks in advance before visiting Copenhagen, about his plan to visit the Bio Europe in that country, and he got 20 meeting requests from that posting. So posting has power, and sharing your plan about the upcoming event, maybe it could be the exhibition. It's a similar. It applies to your first connection recast. When you connect a recast, I mean the first connection, when you say you put some messages, right? And in the message, you should customize your message. It's not about selling your product and introducing your company. Never mention your product. Never mention your company detail. Maybe you can mention your company name only. I'm Brian from South Korea. I'm interested in AI technology, and I'm impressed by your AI expertise and experiences. Can I have a connection with you? And that's it. You don't have to go deeper about our company has innovative solution, product, CIBD, whatever, CS awarded. No, don't mention every detail about the product. So the balance is, as you can see, 70% and 20% is about your market trend. A lot of founders, they fail to introduce their market-wide information. They only focus on their product post or company post only, so that they don't have some topics to share on LinkedIn. So think wider topic, maybe industry-wide, maybe papers. You read a paper. Even nowadays, you can use a ChatGPT to summarize all the paper's detail, and you make a post about that particular technology trend where you have information. So similarly, in this case, along with the first report I introduced before, this is Adelma, one of the top PR company at LinkedIn. They collaborated on the research, and they show that the report shows the 65% of investors are more likely to meet the founders who consistently post insights online. So it's different from this one. This is by the LinkedIn B2B Institute, and this is a research that is done by the Adelman, one of the PR company. So similarly, put the number in the post, give a reliability of contents.
Right. Wow, that's great. I'm also trying to reflect what we do. Team, Sush, please learn, okay? And then let's teach back to our team, back to everything that we're learning here. Because all our attention here, it's a great opportunity. So authenticity of storytelling, top leadership, and call to actions. And I think we do all of these 70-20-10 rule. That's also easy to remember. Cool. All right. Okay. Here's a bit more personal, question. Have you ever had a viral post that completely changes someone's career or startup trajectory? It could be yours or from your industry, or it's something that you witnessed.
Yeah, I got two case study. You don't have to be a influencer on LinkedIn. You don't have to a celebrity on LinkedIn. The consistency is more important. And so this is a partnership request from Italy. One Korean company called the Gene System. They have a machine that analyzes the DNA in the food. And I visited the area for the LinkedIn education. The manager received the inquiry from an Italian buyer just 1 month later. They're launching the LinkedIn company page. Who maybe for someone who doesn't know the LinkedIn difference between the LinkedIn company page and the personal page, when you log in with your email, that's the LinkedIn personal page. You post whatever you do is a personal. But when you create a company page, you can search your company name on your experiences section in the personal profile, and the company page also has the ability to post and manage the followers. So that's two different set. And she has a request about me about the LinkedIn company page operation, because the company page is not growing fast, something like that. And he, after the 3 hours training, I gave some specific guideline, put the hashtag, your, in this case, a gene detection. Gene detection is the keyword that attracts the community members or the leaders in the industry. So you got to figure out what are the main, very important 5 keywords that attracts the community or the people, potential partners, distributors, all that. And she posted around 10 posts on LinkedIn after 1 month, and one person from Italy sent her the message. And honestly, let me share this one as well. I showed it a little bit hands-on. We're talking in Korean, and he sent me. She is Gene System CEO. I mean, the manager, the lady sent me this one. And Nicola said, Autumn, please keep me posted on your food pathogens multiplex detection system. I'm strongly interested in the possibility to promote it in Italy. This will be fundamental for me to understand how the samples need to be enriched. So this contact became a distributor in Italy, total in Italy area, and even visiting Italy, they got Gene System got the official distributor. So imagine 100 times of this by posting your contents regularly. And one more to share. This is my message. So with Greeny, I sent him the message. Well, this is Brian from Korea. I'd like to connect with the people across the globe, especially in the area of genomics and rare disease. Take care. Simple message. Don't mention your product. Don't mention your company detail. And he replied back to me and try to think about, the behavior before replying to me as his perspective. Probably he clicked on my profile to check my activity, my authenticity, whatever the credibilities about myself. And after checking that, when it's okay, he's going to reply. So it's important that you have your complete profile before contacting the people. And when it comes to contacting the people, it's important you customize and simplify the message with the common points, common interest. And what I found, the keyword when I searched him was a rare disease, because at that time I was kind of consulting the 3 billion, the company, the gene screening startup called the 3 billion. And so we got a partnership in the end. So the 3 billion here, the company page, they're operating really well. And even when you visit the company here, let me switch to English. You have a LinkedIn logo, the LinkedIn button in the homepage, so for those who have a website but doesn't have the LinkedIn button in the bottom, please put the LinkedIn button. It's the expectation of a global companies. And when you have your members, the founders, the team members, your company page will show the founders or investors, whatever the people here. So it's easy to contact, and it's give a more reliability of the particular company. So remember 3 billion and think of and look at the poster type, because we have limited time today. We have 30 minutes more, so we cannot go more deeper. But in terms of content type and content kind of a formula, whatever. So you can benchmark this 3 billion. And actually 3 billion went on a Korean IPO already in the cost, we call the Kosdaq. And all these, I gave a lecture for the entire overseas sales people 3 years ago, and they are doing really well. They have around 20 million yearly revenue at the moment. So that's the case one and two I want to share.
Amazing. And thanks for also preparing the slides as well.
You're welcome.
I didn't know this, honestly, but it's a very nice surprise, honestly. It's great. Okay. So, because most of the founders here have very limited time, right? So being a startup founder means even from the day zero, there are a ton of things to learn and figure out. It's just like an idea maze. Sometimes it takes time. So most founders are workaholic, and sometimes they cannot prioritize posting anything. It seems like less priority. But Actually, it's pretty much high priority. I optimize my own life, even though how busy I am, 16 hours a day. I prioritize to be able to create content, but I deprioritize to be perfect. I prioritize to be just to able to get going, publish stuff. And so that brings me to the next question. If a founder only has, let's say, 10 minutes or so, because 10 minutes is so easy to grab it, right? What's the one thing that they should be doing to be maximize the impact on LinkedIn?
Okay. Yeah, there's a interesting story. When I got a flu, did I use LinkedIn on that day?
You do.
I did, because when I got a flu, I had like 38.5 Celsius degree temperature, and then I should do the minimum because I was sick, and the minimum activity I did was the liking of the people's poster that I think they will be our partner or investor. So not liking. That was my flu day activity. But you're not going to be the flu day, so have a flu day right now. So my recommendation, 10 minutes about one personalized recast. I mean the connection recast. Because if you have like a 45 connections in total, it's not giving the credibility. At least you have at least my minimum is 500 within 2 months after creation of a LinkedIn account. So 500, no doubt. Oh, this guy's active, unless he doesn't post about his activities. So one personalized request to the particular person. It could be the VC, it could be the another team members, the founders, or it could be the marketing expert you want to try to interact. It could be the market expert. It could be the LinkedIn expert. I'm open to that as well. I'm gonna give you 30 minutes free coffee check coupon for everyone, the participant or the viewers later on YouTube. Okay, so connect with me. You can find me at Brian Yoo in South Korea, whatever the typing. And so first, I mean the 10-minute, the first connection request with a particular message, and also um, post about whatever the upcoming event about your startup. But it doesn't have to be every day in terms of posting. I recommend one post a week and one connection at least a day, and maybe 5 likes a day. I mean, or a maximum 20 likes of other contents. Because content, the liking activity is, I think, more powerful than the just one content in the beginning, unless you have done you don't have a lot of follower in the beginning, because a lot of people they fail to use LinkedIn regularly because their post is not popular, or like even at least the five likes. Without 5 likes, it's not satisfying sometimes. So my recommendation is to have at least 5 fans of your content. To have 5 fans, you should click the 5 person's post. So the fan means they are also the LinkedIn content creator. So interact with the LinkedIn content creator or influencer is a benefit actually, and that's the smart activity.
How about how about commenting other people's posts? What do you think about that?
Yeah, commenting takes more time than the liking, but the commenting gives us the impression for especially for the people you never met before. So when I have a very good intention to meet the particular leader, I try to have at least 1 month liking or engaging commenting activity before actually recasting a first meeting, because it's kind of a giving first about my likes and my support for this leader, and he recognized my face, a little bit of my name, and sometimes he commented on me, and when I recast a meeting, is 100%. It's much likely to accept, because imagine you never had a like, or you never had a comment from somebody, and he recast me a meeting. That's sometimes okay, but if you do the opposite, you have a much higher chance of making an actual meeting with the already previous impressions.
Yeah. Dear audience, please share in the comment that how many LinkedIn connections do you have? Curious. Okay. Please share in the comment how many LinkedIn connections you have. Let's see how many response we get. Okay. So let's move forward with the next question, which is how do you let's talk about a little bit more, leveraging LinkedIn for business growth at this last part. So how do you turn LinkedIn connections into real meetings?
Yeah, I already mentioned a bit of it. First, to personalize your message. Never mention like dear sir, dear ma'am, whatever. I'll put the name with that particular person and share and give us some compliments. That's important. You try to show the evidence that you studied that guy. Maybe it could be the PhD or doctor. You maybe pre-research his recent research and mention the research name. That's a really good activity. So I usually download the PDF file of the LinkedIn profile of a particular person. When you click the profile, there is a PDF file that you can download their whole career. You can see the whole career, and you can study a little bit about the common point, maybe between Korea or whatever the common points that you have. Maybe it could be your interest, or it could be your value, or it could be that the position you do. If you're the overseas sales, he had an overseas sales role before. You can mention that as well. So personalized message is really important. But for the free version, free account, you have only 5 people a month to send the messaging in the first connection request. So I recommend try to use the premium career, which is around $30 a month, which is a minimum for paid version. But I recommend when you have a first connection, you can make a comment together with the first connection request. So the premium version, especially the lowest, the cheaper one, is a premium career, and you customize the message in the first connection request. And in the first meeting, I always mention you should listen. You be a listener. A lot of business meetings they fail because they talk about their product, they talk about their value.
Yeah.
I mean, the company value, but they're not interested about your company. They're interested in understanding your authenticity, understanding your story. So always try to be a listener, because and also some leaders, they are like try to be talkative. When I see some leaders, they want to be talkative, I react like, oh my God, that gives good impression. Oh, this guy's listening to me. I want to have a second meeting maybe later when I am depressed or whatever. So it's easier to have a second meeting. So first meeting's purpose of mine is to have a second meeting in 2 weeks later, rather than me bragging or talking about my value, company value, etc. So to become a listener in the first meeting, and if they ask about my product or whatever about me, and then you speak. But without permission, never speak. Just properly listen and show the empathy. And most yeah. And third point is PowerPoint preparation about three things about what you can do for the particular company. Any synergy point. It's not about selling your product. It's me. I have a maybe Korean network. I can bridge your company to. I can introduce your company to the B2B companies. Because it's about my. It's not about my company product. It's about me. What I can help for your organization's success. That's a little bit about, I call it contribution point. So the contribution point, always I prepare that when it comes to the first meeting, and the follow-up maybe 2 weeks later. So in the first meeting's end time, you should have a kind of okay, so when can we have a second meeting of the follow-up meeting maybe after 2 weeks or early next month, something like that. You should arrange that with the impression you already gave in the first meeting, so that the more higher chances to have a second meeting. So something like that. So that's the actually key in terms of my GTM strategy.
Sounds great. Yeah. It's so surprising that a lot of things actually universal at the sales and outreach trainings that we do sometimes. Beyond to able to understand an unsuccessful sales meeting, we only look one of the first metric that we look at is how much the the person who's making the sales talk in the meeting, which is the founder in our case, generally over 70%. If they dominate it, it doesn't become a success. Even though like there are awkward silence or something in the meeting, it's actually a good thing. Being able to ask smart questions and get great answers, make them talk, is the core goal, right? And lastly, the synergetic component that you mentioned, right? So this is something that we call the collaborative component. And everybody gets reach out, right? People don't want to get sold something. They want to be a part of something. They want to have a choice of buying stuff. And if you reach out someone with a collaborative way, you're giving that the opportunity to choose something, and an opportunity to get to work together with this person. So you can maybe later on they can ask you that, hey, I'm actually interested with your solution, right? Those are the things that we also do a lot. Really much resonated with you. That's why I wanted to also share my experience. Okay, people are also sharing their number of connections. So far, I think one person here winner, which is Alice. No, Lemon was. Which one? Is it Maria? I think Maria is the winner with 1,900 connections. Cool. That's great. But she says last 2 years wasn't that much active. It's Sandrine. Sorry, Sandrine. Sandrine says that 1,900 connections wasn't that much active in the last 2 years. 50% increase in 1 year because she started using it as a founder. I know her. Anyways, okay. Okay, I'm also curious that how should founders track their ROI from their LinkedIn efforts?
Yeah. So it's another statistics. It's my statistics based on my experience. I've been concerning the 400 startups and pitching, prioritize listening over pitching, achieved the 2.5x higher partnership conversion rates within 3 months. That's my statistics, just to share. And your question, ROI, visibility, we have profile views. Normally when you look at, this is my data, today's data. I have around 30,000 views over my profile within the 90 days. It's normally 90 days, and 16,000 impression a week. And lastly, the 700 search appearances. Especially this is content part. So when you click, like, let me check on over the last 90 days, we have 250,000 impressions. Since it's a B2B, it's good. I mean, some of the sorry, it's a Korean, but it's good for my activity. I mean, my expertise branding or thought leadership. By the way, I'm kind of a influencer on Threads as well nowadays. Threads is popping, but anyway, the LinkedIn has a lower impression compared to the Threads, but it's still very powerful because I got so many messages with the content generation. So in some, let me check the visibility. It could be your profile views, the post reach, I mean the impression, and the follower growth. And engagement, you see, you can check the comments of your post or DMs, like after first connection, and the connection request. Conversion could be the meeting invitation and partnership offer or media mentions of your post. Honestly, the LinkedIn is not really good in terms of archive of your LinkedIn post. So every time you should go back like 6 months. It takes a lot of time. So sometimes, the professionals I give education, they have an Excel file and they put every LinkedIn post URL in the Excel file, and so they can track easily. And I heard that there are several external applications to track the LinkedIn content and see the whole picture. That could be helpful in terms of ROI tracking.
Yeah, thanks for sharing these insights, by the way, the statistics and your personal ones. Most people don't want to share that kind of things, right? I feel super lucky here. I would love to deep dive to our profiles one day with you and get some consultation from you, honestly speaking. That would be amazing. That would be really, really appreciated. I'm gonna reach out to you back. All right. Okay. So, all right. So we are approaching the end. So we will prioritize the questions very soon. And let's get the more questions. Also, we have like 3 or 4 questions so far. So lastly, in case that there is no question more, I would like to ask my own last question, which is, Ryan, what's your final advice for founders who wants to leverage LinkedIn to grow their startup and build a personal brand? Some final thoughts.
Yeah. My last comment or the advice for everyone, don't give up. LinkedIn will give you value. If I were born again, I'm gonna install the LinkedIn again. Because LinkedIn gave me so much opportunity, so many opportunities. You name it. It's crazy. It's an NGO, international organization, the partnerships here and there. This couldn't happen without the LinkedIn tool. It's not because I'm a LinkedIn educator in South Korea. I personally receiving a lot of opportunity, and since I'm just a one person company, I cannot take every opportunity. I have around 20 partnership from U.S., Netherlands, Sweden, Shanghai, the consulting firm, a coaching firm, so many. I'm happy to have more opportunities. Sometimes honestly I reject a lot nowadays. So it's your turn. It's your turn. It took 7 years. Honestly, it's not going to be like a 2 months game. It's gonna be 1 or 2 years of hard working on LinkedIn, and you're gonna have in 3 to 5 years so many opportunity for your business and even for personal branding as well.
Yeah, sometimes it could be also life changing for personal usage too. Some of my best friends, I mean, I can't call it best friend obviously, but some of the best acquaintances that I have actually come from LinkedIn. I met with them thanks to LinkedIn. Those people are really, I'm gonna share something that is crazy here. There are at least 4 billionaires, literally billionaires, in my LinkedIn profile. Literally dollar billionaires, extremely successful business owners. If anyone here is very curious, dig inside my LinkedIn. I don't know how is that possible, but I know. So you can search the public version if you can reach. So there are. So how I met with these people is LinkedIn. Sometimes they are too popular. Like some of them have over 100,000+ connections or followers, but they check. If you ask something interesting, an offer, well, so why not, right? So highly recommend everyone. And then I think, you know what, Brian, we should do round 2, more deep detail insight. Oh, we already published. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving a like.
Yeah, real time sharing, real time liking, real time commenting.
Yeah. That's the secret. Okay, let's go to questions from the audience. Okay, so first off, team, please repost all the questions here. And okay, I'm gonna prioritize the things that is on the Q&A. All right, from the Q&A bar, because we have a tool that I was mentioning that to put in there. My team is mentioning to put it in the Q&A, so I'm gonna prioritize there. And when the team is provide all the things, I will get back to all of the questions. First, Sandrine. Sandrine, by the way, I was making a mistake. Actually, is this Sandrine has 3,400 connections, which is the winner of today. Bravo, Sandrine. And Marie, which is her co-founder, 1,900. Bravo, utilizing very well. Sandrine, you're amazing. So, okay, she's asking a question. How do you get your targets to share their challenge? How do you get your targets to share their challenges? Either they don't have the time, or they might not have, they don't know you to share enough to share. That's the question. Maybe I'm gonna put you here in the chat as well, Brian, for your convenience. So target prospects, I guess she's trying to
prospects to share that challenge. Yeah, it's important. I mean, the authenticity I try to build through my profile and post. Even the webinar is similar. It could be go public on YouTube. So later on, like 2 years later, somebody just randomly click on the LinkedIn session and found me, and you see how I try to share everything rather than hiding and selling my consulting package later. I'm going to share later in my consulting package, something like that. I try to share everything, try to share my feedback, the authentic point, and even I try to research whatever the points. So normally for the global company, they're kind of entering South Korean market. So they probably don't have the network. They don't have the some people to for the POC or the pilot test. I can help with that. So kind of try to generate not about your company size perspective. Try to build a real relationship. How this guy is grown up and what kind of values he has, something like that. Personally, I have my value helping other people and family, challenge, and creative. Those are the values that get me excited when it comes to doing a startup, even the lecture. This lecture is a non-paid, it's a free time. Why should I give everything I know? I give
Yeah,
everything I know because it's the help I want to give to you, to the internet.
amazing. So I really love the how the personal touch on this is very important, and you mentioned this. Really appreciate it. So I want to share because I want to make it more conversational. This my personal blog and the YouTube channel. I try to make it more personal now and try to tap into the real personal problems of entrepreneurs and also investors as well. And so I mean, as soon as I enter that topic, an ocean of new topic opens after me. Actually, even though we do business with other businesses, actually humans do business with humans. We all humans, and we sometimes hide behind all the entities like large corporates or startups or giant names, right? But actually, they all are humans, and I met with the very important and influential people, humans in my life, and literally they're humans. They just I talk sometimes, politics and football lives with them, and they really like this one. Some of the most influential people that I met in my life, they always want to talk life and a business. We will figure it out. It's okay. We will figure it out. And then they talk in business in a different setup. So that's I think really important. Thank you for bringing up this, Bob. And I'm gonna go with another question, which is okay. We reposted the questions to be convenient. Raul asking, even as a non-founder, do you think that similar strategy of an employee can have benefits in, for example, change your workplace, get the job offer, or simply create a great network? Or is this a strategy is different than this? This is what he's asking.
Exactly, exactly. The today I focus on the LinkedIn usage in terms of a company-wide kind of operation and the tactic, the strategy, and it applies to the personal or employee side perspective as well. So the personal branding is a bonus of activity we learned today, and it is a time of I mean the kind of execution. So the first one, profile completion of your brand. And also first connection request, at least 500 over the next 2 months. And the content creation about your expertise or your ongoing activity, whatever the activity you do. Honestly, I have two mentees who want to enter the company, and he want to be a global sales kind of a manager, something like that. And so I advise two of them to post about sales tactic and sales strategy after you learn or you read books about sales, whatever. And interestingly, two of them got hired within 3 months in one of the top sales companies in South Korea.
Yeah, amazing. How about finding the best team members for startups? This is a question from the Christian. How to find the best team members for our startup?
Yeah, that's a similar
Thank
apply.
you.
When you're the founder, the readers, I mean the viewers, the users, they follow your content and they become finally the fan of your content. So honestly, I also got many requests about some particular person. I want to enter your company because I love your value. I like your post or whatever. So it's called the thought leadership. You share your insight regularly, and there are some people who admire your activity, your value system, whatever the content. So hiring a co-founder or the best employees based on your content generation by showing the credibility and authenticity will help a lot. And also in South Korea, there are culture of coffee chats and on LinkedIn. So it started from the HR managers from startup because the startups they have difficulty to find people. But when the recruiter or the HR members they have a coffee chat, it's more casual. So the
Mm.
talents from other industry, they're open to have a coffee chat, even offline or online. And in the coffee chat, if the recruiter or the founder give a good impression, there are more high chances to they apply for the company or the position that you're looking for. And another one, one company asked me, we posted on one of the job portal in South Korea, paid already $10,000 for recruitment of a overseas salesperson, and it took 6 months, and we don't get any talented people yet. So I was like, okay, I'm not the headhunter. I don't get any fee from you, but let me post about your posting. And in 2 days, we have 150 talented people from 10 different countries, and 2 are hired within 2 months.
It's amazing. So actually, LinkedIn is a social network that people can monetize it too. A lot of people are going into like YouTube, TikTok, and that sort of thing as an influencer to monetize actually as a business. They approach like a side income or something. Actually, LinkedIn will be better, especially startup founders can even monetize and get traction on LinkedIn by you monetizing their knowledge and expertise and network actually.
Yeah, one
Wow.
last case study. One of the startup they want to enter the U.S. Market. So I was thinking like, how much is it to hire the country manager in the U.S. And it was like
Yeah.
$200,000 per year, something like that. So I was like thinking, how do I get to know the people? So I used the free recruiting post. I mean, there's a recruitment tab on LinkedIn, and you can put your official recruitment post, and that is free unless you have lots of applicants. So within 2 days, I have 200 applicants from the free version, and the LinkedIn said, "Hey, Brian, it's no more free version. You have lots of contact. If you want to look at other resume, please pay us." So I was like, okay, let me stop it then. And I get already the 200 applicants and the resume, and we had several meetings. And also, without paying $200,000 for yearly contract permanent job, I suggested $200 per hour consultancy part-time role for several people, and it's working very well.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. And last, maybe very quick one. Do you recommend any specific courses on LinkedIn, especially content creation on LinkedIn? This question coming from Mahasin.
Uh, I'll give you 30-minute coffee chat coupon for the training. Just let me know your contact.
Is it one-on-one?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Whoa, that is huge,
Yeah, special
Brian.
coupon for the participant today. I'm gonna give you personal training.
This is great. This is like gold. You split a lot of gold here, the golden nuggets here.
You're welcome.
You distill a ton of great information, insights here, and you even open up the statistics, the analytics of your platform, your LinkedIn profile. That was very useful. Really appreciate it. And then this too, like the freebies, a lot of freebies we have, right? I'm speechless. I think one of the best podcasts that I have ever done until now.
Yeah, thank you very
I
much.
should.
Do you guys see the value of attending today? Do you guys see the value of attending this session without eating your dinner in South Korea, especially? Become a person who see the value, and thousands of people miss it, and few will get the value and understanding of the value.
You know what? I will do my best to be able to reach this episode to many more people. Promise. I will do my best at least. Okay. So that's the end. I know a couple of more questions, but the time's out. And I really, really enjoy. I can't just, express this enough. We should do round 2 sometime, and maybe a couple of months later, Brian. It was very enjoyable, and love your personality as well and everything. And for the audience, I'm going to be in this meeting room, Air Meet on networking as well. Brian, I know you have the family time and appreciate your time, but if you can, maybe, or if not, no worries. If you're not able to do it, it's still fine. And so, dear audience, I'm going to be jumping to the airmeet.com. We share the link here for friendly networking. I know it's a very small room, so at least a couple of people, we can just hang out there for maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes more, depends. And thanks everyone for this great session, and thanks Brian. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's get
recording stopped.
Let's get connected on LinkedIn and publish content. All right, and tag us. Brian,
thank you
so much.
Yeah, keep in touch, everyone. Bye bye.